Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Françoise and today I'm going to give you a little studio tour and talk to you about my first solo exhibition. It took place a few days ago, so I get to show it to you today. Let's get started. So first, I think it'd be interesting to talk to you about how I actually managed to get this space, which is not at my house because we don't have a lot of rooms over there. I do have 4 kids and I've had to work from the living room table for the past 5 years, which was when I started watercolors and I started sharing videos to YouTube. So I really needed a space to work at and, just put all my stuff and have access to it very easily, which was a pain before. I did find a space here in my local town. It was a little bit of a challenge at first because there are not a lot of places. Of course, you have to pay for it, which is also one of the reasons why I didn't do this before. I waited to diversify and managed to actually pay for it in a way that I know I'm not gonna get in trouble and, put myself in a very delicate situation. So yeah, it worked out just fine. I did have a hard time finding a place, but then I found it in a location that's just perfect for me. I do film videos here, so I didn't want to have a bunch of noise, a bunch of cars driving by, which is not the case at all. And actually the room turns out to be a lot bigger than what I was expecting, which is why I decided that I was not just going to make an art studio, but also an exhibition room, which is pretty cool, right? So now let's just take a little tour. So you've seen what the outside looks like. It's pretty quiet, as you can see, pretty nice. I even have some furry friends hanging out by the front door, especially in the morning when it's dark. I don't know why, they just like to come hang out. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And then I did have some work done in the studio because at first the floors were all gray and the walls were gray. It used to be a restaurant, so it wasn't very classy in my own standards of what I wanted to do with it. And plus the room in itself is pretty dark. It's long, it's narrow, so there's not a lot of light going into it. And for that reason, I thought it'd be nice to have the walls painted white and to also have the floors look a little bit lighter so that there's more light in the room, which is exactly what I did. And that had a cost, but I think it's well worth it. I've been here for over a month and it's been a bliss. I think one of the best things about the studio is that I get to paint a lot more. Otherwise, I would have never managed to paint more than 30 paintings that are large in sizes for the exhibition. Impossible at my house. So this window here is actually the only source of light that I have. It's pretty large, as you can see, but that's the only place. And the room, like I said, is very narrow. But still on the sunny day, it's pretty nice. And as you can see, it's super quiet outside. There are not a bunch of people walking by or anything. And neighbors are pretty quiet overall. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. So I'm pretty happy. And what I decided to do in the beginning was to set up a space for my kiddos to have fun and paint, which is why I added this table in the first place. That's an old living room table we used to have. So this is where my kids can paint and actually where I sit down in the morning to brainstorm and have coffee or tea. You can see I have a bunch of cool things in there. I have tea. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I have a choice of teas and then I do have coffee and chocolate. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, and the only thing I guess I'm not super happy about is that not a bunch of people really come visit. So it's kind of lonely, kind of like it was at home. But this is not the reason why I came here. I came here to expand my business and actually feel good doing what I do and just work even better than I used to. So that's fine. Actually, it's okay. It's not a big deal. And here I want to show you what I did for my kiddos. So this is actually an IKEA furniture. I'm sure you've seen them in the 90% of the art studios out there. Everybody has them. They're really nice. So actually the top drawers are not for my kids, they're mine, and might be messy in there. Yeah, painting. And then pretty much paper is why I store paper. These are pretty good for that because they're so large. Yeah, so more paper. And then these are the boards that I used when I was doing the exhibition. I have another one tomorrow, another moment where people can actually come and visit, so I'll just put them out again. This is more paper, scrap paper. See, I didn't know what to do with this before at my house. Now I have a dedicated place for it, so if I need something, then I can just come look. And this is where we've got all the stuff for my kids with, you know, their coloring books and other things that I'm not using anymore, papers I don't really like, or supplies I don't use often, or they're a little bit of a lower quality, like this paint set by Artistro, which is not bad for beginners, but really not what I want to use on a regular basis. And I also gave my kids these Arteza gouache because I have some Daniel Smith that I want to use more of. So I also wanted to treat my kids with a great place. And you can see more stuff. Also some colored pencils and a bunch of things. I don't even know where I got all that stuff. So many things. Yeah, so, you know, that's the creative corner for everybody in the family. And here you can see I started decorating, but there are some blank spots because I haven't had time to do everything. What was most important for me was to actually complete the exhibition, which I did. And I still do have some frames to add here and there. Here was actually a compliment to my exhibition where I talk about the Wolf of Gévaudan, which is very famous in France. It's a true story that happened 300 years ago. And I just snapped some photos where the story happened when I was on vacation this summer. And I just put them up there as well as a map, just so people can, you know, actually locate the area and understand what's going on behind the story a little bit better. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Now let's move on to another place in the room. Okay, so this is just across from where I was earlier. That's just by the front door. To decorate, I decided to place an easel here. There's nothing on it today, but I plan on adding some paintings, or sometimes I'll just put up a block of arche paper because I think it's classy, and plus it's a French brand, so I think it looks good, you know, in a French town to have the French arche paper. So I really like this. I'll show you the exhibition afterwards. Now I'm just showing you my stuff. So I decided to add some plants. You can see it looks nice. And here is actually my oils setup. It's what I had bought previously to do oils. I didn't do a lot of it. There's also acrylics down there, you can see. So here you have paintbrushes for oils, oil paint, you have acrylic paints, and now maybe you can hear the church in the background, the bell. This is all my stuff. Things that I don't use very much that I want to use more of. Now I'm here. Yeah, and I also have markers here. Those are my Ohuhu markers that I reviewed. And I also like to keep the cardboards from all my watercolor pads, not throw them away, in case I want to make a handmade book. So I have all these here, and you see from my exhibition, I was happy to have one because I was able to make a sign that says that I was doing an exhibition and make my shop visible to people. We don't really call it a shop, it's more like a studio. I don't really sell, although maybe in time people will come here to purchase paintings. I am not sure. Now this is a little library that I wanted to make myself. Excuse me. Just moving a chair. And I wanted to put all my art books in there, all the stuff that I like. That's an example of all the stuff I have and so much more. I also didn't know what to do with this cauldron, so I put it here. And I also have papers over there. I have a bunch of art stored over here. So yeah, that's everything that I've done before, everything I've ever painted is actually here if I need it for a video or something. I just have to grab one of these and I know I can find my paintings. So yeah, that's nice. And a bunch of sketchbooks. Not all of them are full. Actually, most of them are just started but not full at all. I have that same problem. A lot of you probably have too, which is we start and then we never finish them. So still working on that. Funnily enough, I do not use this desk as much as I thought I would because I don't have a great internet connection here. But I do like to sit here when I just want to do admin work or, you know, just brainstorm stuff and I don't really need a connection. I'll just come here. I have a great chair for it. I have this chair also for people who might come see me, which will be the case soon because my accountant will come and I want to make sure that when she comes, she has a proper place to sit and I can actually make her some tea or coffee, which you saw I had everything for it. This is actually my favorite cup. It's a mine that I'm keeping. It's a place in France called Puy du Fou that I went to that I really like and I brought that back. So yeah, that's my cup. And this is the book that I'm reading now, which should be the subject of my next exhibition. It's Les Misérables by Victor Hugo. You probably know, you probably heard of it. I think it'd be interesting. And this is really what I like to paint about. So it's a dream come true to actually paint about a certain thing that I know might appeal to some people, not everybody. I didn't think it would be great for online teaching, but for an exhibition and, you know, certain people who like to read and who like history, that'd be great. So yeah, that's my next project. So in this desk, I just have a bunch of watercolors, everything that I don't use on a day-to-day basis, but that's watercolor is here since watercolor is my medium. So everything is in here. I also have just some admin stuff and books. And you might notice that there's an empty spot right there. And why is this for? That's because we have something to unbox today. So let's see what it is. BenQ kindly sent me this lamp for review and of course to use on my desk, which is great because like I was saying, I don't get a lot of light in this art studio. So especially at the back of it, which is where my desk is located, which is great. And we're going to unbox it today and check out all the different features. So let's go. I love how stylish the box is already. I have heard of this lamp actually with other artists, including some that I know. And there are not many parts, so I don't expect this to be too hard to put together at all, which is a huge plus because I don't really like to put things together. I'm not that great at it, so. I believe there are several colors available. This one is silver, but I think they have black and, if I'm not mistaken, at least 2 other colors. I think there was a golden one too. Putting this together seems very easy as we just need to assemble the 2 parts and just tighten the screw. That's pretty much it. So let's try it. That is it. It takes 2 seconds. That's it. So design is one thing, but what we want is for it to be efficient. And this is the button that you can use to turn the lamp on or off. There we go. And this one here is going to serve 2 purposes. So here, which setting am I on? This is actually to get whichever color temperature you selected to be more or less bright. So if I want it to be very bright, I turn the button that way. And if I want it to be lighter, then it's going to be this way until there's no more light. So you can really adjust it. And now you just press very lightly. That's all it takes to now access color temperatures. Warm temperatures and cool temperatures. And once more, you can select your temperature, press, and now select the intensity with that temperature. Super easy, super simple. Really nothing too complicated to remember if you don't use it every day. So notice also that we can move the lamp in many different ways. So we can move the arm. You see, you can move it at the base here. You can move it over here. So you can really do whatever you want. Reach far out if you want to. Just depends. So for me, I don't know how I'm gonna place it yet. But yeah, I'm really happy. It's beautiful. It complements the desk really well. And it's really gonna help me work even on rainy days when I can't see anything at the back of this room. I do enjoy the fact that this part is very, very wide, very elongated, which aside from the stylish looks of it, really is convenient to actually work on a large area. Here I can see like this whole section of my desk is actually lit up by the lamp. And it could be even better when I raise it. There's really a lot of things that you can do. The lighting is designed in a way that it's not going to be a strain for your eyesight either. So I think that's a good point. We have to see, of course, in the long run how that really performs. I think that's going to be great for anyone working from a desk, wanting to work in the evening in particular would be great with the different light temperatures. And for sure I'll be using it when it gets dark here on rainy days, whenever I need to sketch or do anything here. I can even use it to do a little bit of sketchbook work. So thank you BenQ for sending this over. I really appreciate it. I really love the lamp. And you guys, I'll put a link in the description of the video if you want to check it out. So now let's look at the rest of the studio. This is actually what you see in my previous videos. Is where I started filming myself when I present a topic in a video. I really like this little backdrop. I really needed something like that. So this is where I put all my latest paintings. These are some paintings actually that are a little bit older, but I like them. This is just a decoration and, you know, to put some paintings in. A little bit of, well, a lot of paintbrushes actually. And this is one of my latest classes on painting lighthouses, and then a bigger one that I really like over here. And here just another space with a lot of art supplies. These are colored pencils, and then there's pastels and a bunch of other things. Markers, you know, watercolors, the ones that I like to use, decorations, one of my kids' drawings, toilets. I don't think that's very interesting, so I'm not going to show it to you, but there's a sink, and it's super, super important for an artist who uses water, and, you know, even any artist, I guess. So yeah, I'm happy to have it. This is the interesting part in the studio, because that is what makes it a studio and not just an exhibition room. It's my space. And see, those are the big lamps I was talking about. So they serve the purpose of being able to draw or paint late at night with great lighting, but they do take a lot of room, as you can see down here. So yeah, that can be a setback for many of us, because you do need room for those. Otherwise, they're great. And so this is where I do keep everything that I have in progress. Lately, it's been my exhibition. I still have all the tubes that I was using out, and you can see my palette clearly here. Yes, and then all my stuff, the stuff that I use, jars, heat gun, paintbrushes, masking fluid. And I did get, oh yeah, more frames. I did get this stool from IKEA. Actually, I really like it. It's great. It's convenient. And here is all my mess that I like to use, that I need to have at hand when I paint. Yeah, favorite colors that I'm using now. Useful tools that I use all the time for watercolor pencils. What is this? Gouache I need to use. Then I always need some sharpeners. And then in there I do have, yeah, my pastels, water soluble pastels, and just things that I use on a regular basis watercolor pencils. If you watch a channel, you know that I do a lot of that. So yeah, that's the most important place in the studio for me. I really, really like it. And I started decorating, but I didn't finish. Behind the curtain is just storage space. It's really not that nice, so I'm not going to show it to you. But I wanted to do something that's very, not just autumn-like, but that's also going to go well with a bunch of seasons. Now you've seen the studio, I think it's time to show you the exhibition. And we're going to start with the start of it, which is right here. So the exhibition that I put together has a theme that was very important to me, to not just have a bunch of paintings that are unrelated to each other. I really wanted to do something consistent, tell a story, and share with the public something that I'm passionate about. So I couldn't say that the story that I painted about, I'm passionate about, but I have been into it for the past month, and I thought it was interesting. I wanted to share it. It's about a beast in France that killed a bunch of people in I don't know, it was in 1764 for 3 years, and we never knew exactly what the beast was. People thought it was a wolf, but it was never for sure. There was a bunch of theories. There's been a movie that's very known, I think even abroad, The Pact with Wolves, I think. There's even an American actor in it. I think it's Mark Dacascos. It's something that has been, people have talked about a lot, and I thought it was interesting. So I told the story with different sections. So there was a little bit of text here for people to actually learn about it, and then matching paintings so that they can imagine the story around it. So wolf, I really had a lot of fun painting this one. This one was technical, but I nailed it in the end. So I was really happy. The girl was not the hardest one that I've done, really. But the size was challenging. I was not used to painting in such sizes, but now I think I can say I am. Then I really like this mushroom. You can hear a little bit of noise behind me that happens in this place. So for tutorials, I'll try to be careful with that. But sometimes, I hear those things. So yeah, it's not too bad though. Yeah, so this actually I shared to Patreon. So if you do want to learn that one, it's on Patreon. I think it just came out actually. Yes, because I had planned it, and it came out just now. So you'll find a link to that in the description of the video if you're interested in learning how to paint this. This forest, I love to paint forests, so there's going to be a lot of those in my exhibition. Women also, because the beast attacked mostly women and children. So that's why I painted some of those. Yeah, so this one is a little bit scared. You can tell, and it was fun to learn to draw humans a little bit more, or to paint them a little bit more than I have before, and even animals. I don't do that many of these. I do more landscapes. So that's my last Skillshare class. Maybe you've come across this one. And this one will be, I think I will feature it in my next course. So watch out for it. It will be about forests. Now that's another part. You can see we're getting into red tones a little more, so you can see the wolf howling and people are a little bit scared. That one was so much fun to paint. Everything that I've painted is those are actually free stock photos from sites like Unsplash, Pexels, and Pixabay. I always use those. Some of these photos I had set aside a long time ago, but I never found time to paint them. So it was a great occasion to do it. I never used to sign my work. Now I do it. Yes, because I always painted for experimentation. This is a new aspect of my art that's developing now. So yeah, it's a new thing. It's kind of cool. And that's the beast. And this one knows her fate. So that's what I meant with this painting. I really enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed painting the clothing. It looks so beautiful. I like it. Yeah, we see a little bit of glare from the lighting, but it's yeah, it was fun to paint. Then a dark forest that might be in my next course as well. I don't know yet. I love to paint those lanterns. I want to paint more of them. And then now let's move over to the last part of the exhibition. So this is actually paintings that I didn't like that much, but they were not too bad, so I put them here. This is the actual last part where the beast has been found, so we think, we're not sure, and the calm, you know, the peace has returned to the area where all that happened, but you know, people are still distraught from all of that. And then we have a cute wolf that's just minding his own business. And actually, wolves are very fearful of humans. They don't usually attack. They have that bad reputation. They always have. And yet they're really not that bad at all. So yeah, the beast of Gévaudan, it's called, and we don't really know if it was a wolf. And then you can find literature about it online. I'm sure you can even find it in English if you're interested. And these were my last two. It's not quite on theme, a little bit, because it still has to do with stuff from a long time ago. I really loved to paint the fabric here. And this girl too, and it was actually funny. So I do not think she looks like me, but I did get a lot of comments from visitors asking if it was a self-portrait. So yeah, I do not think it looks like me. Maybe the nose and I don't know, the shape of the face, but that would be it, I guess. I will work in another exhibition from like this week on to December. It's just starting again. I just barely have time to rest, but it's challenging. I think that I really enjoyed to paint, because not only did I improve a lot painting on such large sizes. I'm not used to doing that kind of stuff, especially portraits. I don't do that many of them, even though I love to paint them. It's not like it was not the first time I painted a portrait at all, but I don't get to practice them that much. Here I kind of had to do it. I had fun doing it, and I want to do it more. I learned a lot. I did learn a lot about colors. I learned, you know, things that I love, like color combinations I didn't know about that I love to use. And I think I've developed new techniques, so it's given me ideas for new videos too. I think I'm improving. It was just fun to do, and also put this place to good use. So yeah, a good experience. I am going to release a newsletter talking in depth about how I set up that exhibition, how I prepared for it in such a short time. So if you want to learn about this, if you want to get my tips and really get more behind the scenes, I will place a link to my newsletter in the description of the video as well, so you can actually sign up and find out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a very special one. I'm not used to doing something like this. Usually my videos are a little bit more scripted because I want them to be to the point. This one was more freestyle. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. I like to get feedback. For now, I'll just link whatever video I think is interesting to watch after this, and I will see you soon. So you have a nice time, and thank you for watching.